Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. It's been a while since I've recorded anything. I had some internet issues and just had trouble getting farms to work because of that, but I figured it out. Welcome to County Line. Well, just to say I'm a small farm in a big farm world. Um, I'm doing the smaller fields. I'm in an oak field right now. Um, I'm not a very big cattle farm, but we're we're going to see what we can do. Um, let's just say I've got a feedlot, I've got a dairy barn, and another cow barn. I don't have much room for anything. As you can see, I've got $4 million, but I know I still got some equipment to buy. I pre-ordered a bunch. It's already been paid for. We're going to be a John Deere farm. I still may get a second combine. This is a 6600, but I've had my eye on a John Deere 105. I know it's smaller. I know I may not be able to run the acres, but I have a little bit of some bigger fields that I wouldn't mind caching in some of the crops. I have uploaded an auger, but I don't know if it's going to take. I think I'm going to fill these 2 bins, and then I haven't decided if I want to cache in the grain or hold it till when I need the cache in the grain, because I still got a wheat field to run too. I don't know what would be the better crop to put in the bin. I'm leaning towards maybe taking this down to the granary. That also being said, I'm learning that they're talking a farmer's market in the area. So I have a bigger garden that I can grow a lot in. I'm thinking really hard that come spring, that garden's going to be definitely going. I don't have a greenhouse, I just have a garden. That being said, in this business I'm doing on County Line here, I'm going to run a square baler. I'm going to run a round baler because of the differences in the barn. So I still got to put some barns up to put hay in, or straw, or both. But the dairy barn where lactating cows will be, I can take the square bales and put them up top and be perfectly fine. So I think one of my helps will be showing up soon. So once he shows up, we'll jump off here and I'll meet you back at the farm. We'll show you around the farm. So give me a couple minutes here. Hey guys, I decided to bring this small gravity wagon that's full of oats. We're going to drive this to the farm, and then we'll show you around the farm, and then I've got to see what's the better price for them right now. Being I've got to place 2 barns and all that, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be down some money. As I said, this is definitely going to be a John Deere farm. This is my 100 horsepower John Deere, which does not like hauling this up this hill. But it was one of the tractors I got from a dealership early. They've called and said I would say about 90% of my equipment is at the dealership. So by next episode, all of them will be here. I own small fields all throughout here. County Line has a couple big farms on it, and there's some big fields. So competing with them is going to be a little bit of a problem. So I've got to do what I've got to do to try to survive. So as I said, I'm going to raise steers. I'm going to feed them out. It depends on how this goes next month in September for chopping sorghum, for if I can make any hay or chopping corn silage. By winter I may get those feeder calves. Now, if I can find a feed store that I could get some of my grain, then the steers, I might entertain getting the steers first, because I'm going to have to sell them once they're up to weight, and then rely on milk production for the rest of the farm income, I think. I don't think I'm going to make the money like the big guys do, because the acres is not small. I mean, this is one of my bigger fields. It's a wheat field. So anything I run right now will probably go into the granary, or well, I should say the mill, for a cash payout, just so I know I have enough for springtime when it comes to fertilize, when it comes to seed. I haven't looked into what it's going to cost me to run. I mean, I got this farm. It already had crops on the ground when I bought the whole farm, so everything is just income right now. I did put my auger up in a bin. I may take some of the wheat and put it in there, just because I know the wheat probably would bring more money than what the oats will bring. But then again, I may look. Right now, oats could be more, and then I'll put the wheat. It all goes in cycles. So let me park this tractor up here by the house, out of the way, just in case anyone comes in here. And let's give you a little scoop of the farm. The house and garage is here. I said this is a small farm. You come down through the main. There's the fuel. This main aisle. Grain bins will be back behind the house here. And there's Nate the dog. Nate the dog has been watching this area something fierce. As I said, I got that one hooked up there. We'll see. What brought me to liking this farm was the fact that this shop. It's not big, but this small door will definitely house a lot of seed. That's another day when I'm in the barn, but that's what the plan is. Now this barn here, I've got full attention of putting young heifers in here that haven't gone to the that's not had a calf to go into the milk barn yet. I know of a herd disposal that's coming up this spring, maybe before spring, of 20 milk cows. So that's where I'll start. I'll probably get 20 or so extra calves in here of different age groups. Like that way, there's something always in here. If you don't know, this is one of the new barns from Crooked Creek. It holds about 150 head of cows in there. So I'm just anxious to see how that goes. Now, what I liked was once you get back here to the milk barn, and as you can see, there's been a lot of issues with how they designed this farm. The silo and the TMR mixers right here, which is great because I can come out of this barn here with the carts that I gotta still buy, and I can drive it over to here and fill it from the TMR mixer and drive it back in to feed the cows. And the same with all the other barns. I can bring the tractor and TMR mixer down. Now this ground is awful hilly over in here with this barn. I've got to see what I can do work-wise, but I'm hoping they can load out the milk. But I'll show you what the parlor looks like. This barn is by JMM or something like that, JLM or JFM or something. Done a very good job of this barn, updating it from 19 to this barn to 22. So the cows will definitely like the barn. Getting in and out of it for me could be difficult. Now, this barn over here, a lot of people use. I can't remember the modder made it, but it's a beef barn. This is going to be a feedlot for me. I plan on getting at least 50 beef cows in this paddock here. If anything, it might be before. It could be this fall. It just depends on how the silage does once I get it in the bins. Or if I can find somewhere to get some feed. Excuse me, then we'll throw that into the mix. And with the equipment I run, I only need this one barn. So I'm hoping to fit everything in there. Now that being said, I know I need to come over here. I'm hoping I can do it. Put 2 hay barns right here. I mean, the grass around here I can bale. That's not the problem. But I know I need to get some barns in for hay. So let's go in the shop. I'll use that computer instead of going upstairs in the house. Let's see if the oats is worth anything. And it brings up the farm map right away, which, hey, at least that can show me what's going on. As you can see, I've spent a lot of money. Now, oats. Oats, I have a lot of places I can take it. All this place right through here, I can take my oats. I don't know what's the closest. I mean, it's all by truck and tractor. Now, the wheat is a little lower. So I think the wheat, I am going to bin the wheat. The oats I'm going to take. Looks like right now this place was probably one of the better ones. Now, if any of these are closer, it wouldn't be bad either for it. So I think I'm glad I looked into that. As you can see, this is the break room shop area. So this is where a lot of the meeting will go on. This is the heat and cooling for the shop. Of course, you have to have your own bathroom in the shop just because you never know when you're going to get dirty, need a shower, use the restroom when you're in here in the wintertime. When we come out here on the main floor, it had a little issue building right here, which is okay. It's not like I need all this, but we'll definitely work on equipment in here. We're not going to store, per se, equipment in here, but you never know. Now, when I say this room can hold a lot of seed pallets, as long as I can stack them in here very well, it's definitely going to hold. Now, I do need to keep an aisle right here because my air compressor, which runs through the walls here, that way it's quiet in the shop. But I've got to figure out how I'm getting seed, if it's going to be the big bags or the skids. Either way, that's what will happen. And, I like how I can look out the windows and see the house, see the dog, and just go from there. So, the way it looks, I need to figure out where I'm taking the oats. But that's what this episode is. I know I used to do it would have been Ohio Dairy. I didn't want to run the big equipment like you need to run on Deer Creek. And I know a lot of the fields on here are big, but I have found the ones that are small to medium size. So, that being said, I'm going to call this first video of this dairy farm that I'm running. I haven't figured out the name will be on there, but when I recorded this, I didn't know what I was going to call it. I'm going to call it a video, but if you like what I'm doing and want to see more of this video, or these kinds of videos, subscribe, hit a thumbs up, let me know. And those of you guys that have watched this, and those of you guys that may end up seeing this eventually, if you know how to make like an intro that I can do for every one of my videos, leave a comment down below. I'd like to talk to you about it. I know I can do it through the video editor, but I don't know how that's going to work. So if you know of any way to do that, let me know. Other than that, well, have a great day. This is August, and I still got a wheat field and oat field to do, so I got to figure out, do I want to dump this in the bin? Yeah, let's dump this. Let's take this. I don't know what this place down here is called, but that might be where I go. It's closer. So again, have a great day. Enjoy this Wednesday, and hope to see you guys on the next episode.